Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Eclipse. My name is Jessica. In this video, I'll be asking the cards about your future spouse or life partner, whichever you prefer, and their personality, what type of person they are. Just basically any information you could get about like who they really are and sort of what they'll bring to the relationship. So I have 4 stacks for you to choose from today. I have 4 cards too. We have the 6 of Wands, we have the 2 of Cups, the Sun, and lastly we have the Lovers. So choose whichever card calls out to you, or if many cards call out to you, choose whichever ones you want. Take whatever resonates from those parts of the video and leave whatever doesn't for the next person. You can check the description box or the comment section for timestamps if you'd like to skip directly to the stack or stacks that called out to you. So we'll go ahead and get started. Starting off with our first stack here when it comes to this future spouse and what kind of person or what type of person they are and sort of what they bring to that relationship that you'll have. We have the 6 of Wands coming out first, one of my favorite cards. We have the 6 of Wands coming out again. Ooh, we have the King of Pentacles, great card for a future spouse. We have the Ace of Cups, and lastly we have Rewild with Plantain. So what's interesting here is we have that 6 of Wands coming out twice. This could be a return energy if you're not with somebody right now, or you'd like somebody to return. This could be signifying a return from somebody from your past. If it's not somebody from your past, what it signifies is somebody who has made it through several stages in their life to get to a better place where they can be more successful in a relationship. So there's somebody who's definitely like learned a lot throughout life, whether, you know, no matter what age they are, they've really learned a lot. They've taken into consideration, you know, why relationships have failed and what they can do to prevent that from happening again, you know, choosing wisely, especially with that King of Pentacles. He's such a patient and almost like slow moving in an annoying way king. But the best thing about him is when it comes to relationships, we see stability, that the strongest foundation amongst like all the cards. So he's the best to represent a future spouse, no matter what, regardless of gender, position in life, career, anything. This is somebody who takes things serious. They want to make sure that things are going to grow, things are going to mature, and if he sees potential in it, he will do his best to make sure that it is successful. So a very good person. Somebody, you might think that they don't act on things quickly, but this person's probably the most stable person you'll ever meet. We have 6 of Wands twice, like I said. With this 6 of Wands, we're moving from this first initial energy of 6 of Wands, which would be this person's overall mindset, the way that they move through the relationship, the way that they see the relationship they have with you. And this is like, they want it to be successful straight off the bat. Like, they want success within this relationship. So they're working hard, they're moving forward. And it's something that is filled with success and like constant, almost like applause, because we see that in both of these cards, there are people around, or like cats around, right, that are like, applauding and cheering. So you have great support from people around you. And this person, the stage that they're entering in their life is something that's going to be very successful for long term. I feel like had you met this person before, or you know, if like this is the return of somebody, that wasn't the time where this would have been successful. So it did seem like it had needed like almost a separation, or a good space, you know, in order to get to this right place where things can be successful. Or like I said, if this isn't somebody that is from your past, this is just indicating somebody who went through like moments in their life, bouts in their life that lacked success, and rather than, you know, almost like just sitting there and letting it happen, they really took charge. They said like, this is not going to hold me back. I'm not going to stay in this position forever. I'm going to work on myself and get to the next stage, you know, repeated like advancement, especially with 2 6 of Wands coming out. It has double the good energy here. And when it comes to Ace of Cups, this person is a very loving person. They might not be the most expressive, because we do have the King of Pentacles. He's not the most expressive spouse when it comes to these cards, but the best thing about him is he does things in like little very, very loving ways. So it's like just, you know, buying the food that you love at the store, you know, without telling you, or like writing a note for you if when you're feeling down, just to remind you of how much they care. These are the little things that they do that are actually like huge, like they impact you greatly, because they're these little reminders. And I feel like a ton of little reminders are almost better than, or to me are absolutely better than, just one big reminder here and there. This person's like constant reminders of how much they care about you. So they're overflowing when it comes to love, when it comes to care, when it comes to they're just dedication to the relationship. And in all areas, they seem like a very stable person. We have King of Pentacles, not only like financially stable, but mentally stable. He's the calmest king, least likely to get angry, also least likely to react to a situation that might not be beneficial. So you see a great like contentment within that card, but just calmness, the ability to approach any situation. And it's just really great energy to be balanced out by the Ace of Cups, because you see that love, you see that abundance in finances, in their career, in every aspect of their life, but they're not one to make you like, you know, they're not like overboard when it comes to their emotions. They're not overboard when it comes to things that they do. They're a very calm person that people love being around. We see that with the Six of Wands too. It's somebody that people cheer for. They really enjoy that energy of this person. Then lastly, we have Plantain with Rewild. It's almost like finding yourself and going back to like the ground, going back to the foundation and rebuilding, doing things in a way that allow you to almost reset. You know, it's almost like a second chance energy. And that's sort of interesting because we have that journey, that reset with Plantain, and we have that with Six of Wands coming out here twice. So we see double this energy of like movement forward, focusing on what's happened so that there can be successful movement forward without any hesitation or without any lingering on previous issues. So I think personality type, they're just somebody who's been through enough to get them to this really level-headed stage. They're coming in, if this is somebody from the past, they're coming in with a better mindset that will actually result in success. If this is somebody brand new, this is somebody who has been through quite a bit, but they're working on bettering themselves so that they can be in a successful relationship. If you are with somebody right now and you just want to know, like, is this, you know, confirmation for this person? I would say, if the person you're with is somebody who you know has had some troubles when it comes to life, when it comes to relationships, but now they're trying to improve themselves. You know, they're wanting something that is successful long term, or at least, you know, they're giving love a second chance. You see that here with these cards. That's the energy that's coming across here. Very positive energy, constant movement forward. And we see that it's like constantly moving toward the positive cards. We have the Six of Wands moving toward that Ace. We have that Six of Wands moving toward the Pentacles. So it's like movement towards something that is positive, long lasting, and very, very positive, like in as a relationship. You know, it's showing that this is long term. So that's what I'm seeing when it comes to these cards, this first deck with the Six of Wands. Hope that was able to resonate with you, and I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Starting with our second stack here with the Two of Cups and this future spouse or life partner, whichever one you're more comfortable with. We have the Lovers. We have the Page of Wands. We have Justice. Let me move these over a bit. I think I'm off center greatly. And lastly, we have Quaking Aspen with We Are One. So these are really good cards because we're seeing Two of Cups, which would be soulmate energy. We see the Lovers with soulmate energy. And we also see Quaking Aspen, which gives me strong soulmate energies. So this is life partner here. This is longevity. This is somebody who's coming in at the right stage in your life to provide you with like that perfect counterpart that you've needed, you know, the person that you've been waiting for. I see a lot of compatibility here with this Two of Cups coming out first. A lot of like, you know, just really knowing the other person. I feel like if you haven't met them, if you already met them, I feel like the first meeting is something where you get along really well. It feels like you've known this person your entire life. It just really, you know, it's something that starts off with a good feeling. You know what to talk about. You have so many similarities where it really matters, you know, and it's just overall like a really good conversation when you first meet. It just seems overall like such a lovely meeting of two people where there's a strong soul connection. With the Lovers coming out here, and Lovers doesn't pop out much for me, but when it does, I always see it as a good sign for something that is meant to be, something that, you know, it's like either both of you or one of you has had to go through a bit to get to this stage. I would say probably both of you. But once you got there, it's like you see this other person and you realize, like, you know, that's sort of who I've been waiting for. That's what, like, the universe, higher powers had in store for me. And if you haven't met this person, I would say they're coming in very soon because of the Page of Wands, somebody who's setting out on a journey. But if you have met this person, the way I would say that you to be sure of this is, it doesn't seem like it's moving very fast. It's almost like you have this clue as to what this relationship is, but you're always wondering why it's taking so long for things to progress, because you feel this connection, they feel this connection, but it doesn't seem to be proceeding. But the thing is like with the quaking aspen here, it takes a long time for these trees to grow. And once they do grow, they entangle themselves within each other. So you can't separate them. They really like become one. And I think overall the like universe here is wanting this relationship to proceed in a way that really creates that unity here. If we're having quaking aspen, if we're having justice, such strong soulmate energy within these cards, we're seeing something that's taking a long time because it needs to be stable. I'm feeling like very strong pentacle energy here, even though there aren't any pentacles. Very odd, because we have more like we have fire, air, and water, but we don't have any earth other than that quaking aspen, you know, with that actual like earth represented there. But I feel like it's their personality type. They're not questioning their relationship necessarily. They're not wondering, you know, and I feel like when you do meet them, if you do feel like they're questioning their relationship or they're not interested, they're not, you know, putting in as much as you expected, I don't think it's that. I think it's just their way of approaching things because they want to make sure that this is like well planned. We do see that with the Page of Wands here. He's setting out on his journey. He's checking the weather, you know, the wind direction. He wants to make sure that he, when he sets out, it's the right time for him. He's going in the right direction. He's making the right decision, setting out at the right time. And this is the key part of their personality. They are somebody who you know, once they get started, they're going. They love to have fun. They're an outgoing person, but they want to make sure that things are set so that they don't make mistakes. And not too much like where they're sort of overboard and you feel like lack of movement entirely, but more so they just like to evaluate some things, you know, make sure that they have a little bit of a base plan before they do anything. With this relationship, I feel like they heavily know that it's something special. And because of that, they almost seem sort of either worrisome or sort of like they want to proceed with caution because they want to make sure they don't make any hasty decisions or any mistakes that might, you know, throw off the relationship or slow down its advancement. So they seem very, very like, you know, wanting to make sure it advances in a very smooth, positive way. It does seem like immediately there is a connection here, right? Two of Cups, the Lovers coming out in those first positions. Such really, really like good connection. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like when you meet, when you're talking to each other, you really feel that. You really feel like that lifelong connection. But That's just their type. They're a very balanced person. They're one who takes things slowly. And with Justice coming out, which I really haven't talked about, Justice is an interesting card because it seems like somebody who's very loyal, very faithful, very fair, somebody who follows the laws, but also is one who takes like their own emotions into consideration. So like if they know something would hurt them, then they're not going to do that to somebody else. Their morals are very, very strong here. They make sure to listen to the problems of other people, to treat people fairly. They're a very just person, somebody who's very concerned with just equality, fairness, just making sure everybody is where they need to be, where they deserve to be. And if there's anything that somebody needs, I think this is the type of person that's very quick to help somebody who's very like a humanitarian. They really want to make sure that other people are doing well. And that seems like such a strong characteristic when it comes to these, because normally I don't see that within the readings. It's like something so like almost focused on just being just well balanced when it comes to humanity. I don't think many people are that strong that they would come out in a reading with that personality trait. So I would say mainly here, when it comes to their personality type, they sense it. They know this connection's there, but they're one that's like more of the evaluator, so they're not going to proceed really as quickly as you might hope they would. They see that connection immediately, and they really do value connections. They value connections with everyone they're in relationships with, their family, their friends. They really value these relationships, and they take everybody into consideration when it comes to any choices they make, any way they sort of like proceed forward. They seem to really care a lot about how people are going to be treated, the way that people are given things, how fairly everything is distributed. But this person is building up something strong with you. That's mainly what I'm seeing here. So that's with this second stack and the Two of Cups. A strong energy, a strong connection here. Somebody who might be a little slow to act, but trust me, like behind the scenes, they are very dedicated. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And I hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Starting with our third stack here and the Sun, we're going to put it over here because it's our little guide card. When it comes to this future spouse of yours, we have the Page of Cups, we have the Queen of Wands, we have the World, and we have Yarrow with Pocket of Protection. I really like the sort of completely different energy that's present within these cards. Like, it's so much going on here. We have that funny card here with the guy with the fish in a cup. We have that intensity, that sternness, and like very powerful energy of the Queen of Wands. We have cycles and fixed energy in the World, brightness in the Sun, and then we have Yarrow over here, which is one of my favorite cards because it seems like it's so sweet and kind and loving. So it's like this is a representation of this person's exact personality type, like who they really are. There's somebody who's fun, but somebody who's serious, and somebody who's loving, somebody who's bright, somebody who is well balanced. All these different energies coming out to create this really almost like ideal person here that's represented within these cards. So we have Sun coming out here. Sun to me screams like very bright personality. Might not be that they're like, in high energy, high intensity all the time. To me, when I see the Sun as a personality trait, it's more of somebody who stays optimistic. Somebody who doesn't allow negativity to drain them, to make them feel like their life is over. Like somebody who doesn't really dwell on situations that are unjust or unfair. This is somebody who can find the silver lining in every situation, constantly looking for something positive. Like, no matter what you're in, this person is definitely going to bring you out of it and get you into a much more positive mindset. And I feel like that is sort of their approach to life. And I think it's with everyone around them that they really care for. They're the type of person that just wants people to have that optimism restored. So if you're going through something negative, they're going to tell you, well, you know, at least you have these things, and look at the bright side, or, you know, focus on this instead of focusing on that. And that's where we get that Page of Cups with that fish in a cup. It's somebody who creates that silliness or that happy-go-lucky personality, you know, that moment where you can just focus on something funny that'll distract you away from what is negative. It's that, like, the type of person that will sacrifice their own sort of like what is it, self-image, you know, just to make you feel happy. Somebody who's just more dedicated to people around them than they are to themselves, because the happiness of somebody else, I think, brings them immense joy, more so than, you know, just finding happiness for themselves without thinking about anybody else. So it really is like beautiful selfless energy here with that Page of Cups and the Sun. With the Queen of Wands, though, it's like this completely opposite personality, because we have somebody who's very serious, somebody who knows a lot, somebody who's very wise. So even though this person may come across here within that energy as the Page of Cups, it doesn't mean that that's actually who they are. It just is one side of their personality. When it comes down to it, when they need to be serious, they're definitely the serious type. They're the ones that can get things done. They focus heavily on sort of like almost like developing a game plan so that they can solve the problem in the best way. When it comes to wands, it's usually like travel. But when I think of travel, I think of like planning out things, making sure that it's going to be successful. You know, like you might want to go somewhere, you might want to go on a trip, but what do you need in order to go on that trip? And you need to be prepared for anything that might be sort of like a setback or like, you know, a bump in the road, right? So in case of emergency, what happens? That's the type of person. You might not see them as that person. They might be so silly or funny or, you know, just so optimistic that you don't think that they think about the serious things, but then you find out later that they're the ones that, you know, planned for every single disaster that you could think of. And because of that, you're almost like more secure than ever. We have the World here with that almost like beautiful balance, because we see all 4 fixed signs. We're seeing somebody who's very good when it comes to their choice making, somebody who really evaluates things. They're not quick to move, but they embody fire, earth, water, and air, because we see all of those 4 fixed signs here. We see Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio within this card. So good embodiment of all the signs, meaning that they're not leaning toward one energy or another. They're somebody who's you know, happy but not overboard. They're not somebody who is too serious to a point where you don't want to be around them. They know when to just have fun, but they also know when to really, you know, sit down and discuss something. So balanced energy, a lot of balanced energy. And now here with Yarrow and Pocket of Protection, when this comes out, I see it as that, like, that regardless of gender, that person that can sit there with you when you're feeling bad or when you're not happy, you know, and make you feel better just by sitting there. They don't have to talk. They don't have to, you know, tell you like everything's going to be okay. They just sit there and listen to what's going on. And it makes you feel like you're not alone with that person. But there's also this like safety that you find within that card where you feel like you can talk about things with this person. This person is a great like listener. They're sincere when they listen, and they're not going to like run around and tell everybody that you told them something. They're going to listen to you, and they know that you trust them. So with that trust, they're like even almost more protective over this relationship. They put in more energy, more just love into this, because they really care about you. They really care about this relationship. Of course, when it comes to everyone, you know, like they really care about the people that are in their lives. But I feel like this card in particular tells me this is somebody who will watch over you. This is somebody who will put a lot of energy into making sure that you're safe, that you're provided for, that and not just like financially provided for. When I say provided for, I mean that like your emotions are, you know, being tended to, you know, that that your feelings are being provided like a safe haven to rest in. Somebody who receives, you know, that energy that you're putting out and is able to either protect it or, you know, channeling it into something that's much more positive. So it's like everything that's going on, I feel like this person is just very receptive of like energy and very, very good at telling when something's wrong or how you're feeling without having to talk about it. So they're a very observant person. Well, that's what I'm seeing here. Seems like overall we're just seeing somebody who's really well-rounded, very balanced, very positive, very fun, but also very serious when they need to be. Somebody who's all about protecting you. So that's what I'm seeing here with this third stack. I hope that at least part of that was able to resonate with you, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Starting with our last stack here, we have the Lovers when it comes to this future spouse and their personality type or life partner, whichever one you feel a stronger connection to. We have King of Cups. Oh, we have Death. That's never a bad card. Remember, that's never a bad card. We have Wheel of Fortune. And we have Daisy with Be Yourself. So this person has come out in two of my favorite cards, right? We have the Lovers, we have the King of Cups. So when it comes to this person's personality type, we see somebody who is in search of their counterpart, and not just any counterpart. They're looking for somebody who they're like divinely guided to, somebody who really speaks to them on another level. We can say this is a divine counterpart. We can say this is a soulmate here. We can say that this is like predestined, you know, and that's the energy that I'm getting here. It's somebody who is in search of that one specific person. And I feel like a lot of the times they really put their heart out there and they were met with somebody who just didn't add up to what they were hoping for. And rather than being closed off, rather than ending that and being like, it's never going to happen, they're never going to find that person, they kept moving forward, reevaluating the way that they did things so that things would be more successful, so that eventually they would see all the signs as like, this is the right person. So they're able to sort of like ignore other opportunities or other people in search of the right person. That's funny because we end up with Daisy here. And Daisy's message is, you might not think you stand out in a crowd, right? When there's a ton of daisies, they all basically look the same. But in reality, every single daisy is unique. So although you might think you don't stand out, you definitely do to this person. This person sees you and only you. And by the time that you two meet, it's very evident, it's like very clear that this is their personality type. Like they have done so much reflection, so much just work on being successful in a relationship that they can see you immediately when they meet you. Like this is it. This is clear to them. Now, the personality type though, even though that it's very clear to them, even though they see it, they're wanting to make sure that issues sort of like don't repeat themselves. And we have two cards that represent cycles. Well, two of the cards that I see as representations of cycles. With the Wheel of Fortune, we see it moving. Eventually, that wheel has to come back to its original position. With Death, we see an end and a beginning, right? We see death and then we see rebirth here. There's something that always follows death. It's not always that like, you know, everything's over. There's no point in continuing. It's now you get this new opportunity. Now you get this second chance. Now you get to focus on this in a way that maybe you hadn't focused in the past. And this could be that moment that you get to sort of like actually have the happiness that you thought you'd have in the past. And this could be for this person too, like they finally get that opportunity, or it's like disregarding failures, disregarding relationships that you really had hope for, and focusing on what is new, what is fresh, and what is finally working in your favor. We see that Wheel of Fortune when it's in this position and it has its positivity like around it. We see that it's working in a way that is going to benefit you, benefit them. So when it comes to their personality type, they know that there are going to be issues. You know, there are hiccups in the road, or hiccups along the way, you know, bumps in the road. Like I said in a previous stack, there are issues. But this person, you know, they are aware of that. They're not going to think like, like, I can't get over this, we need to just end this relationship. And it might have been that you had previous relationships where once things got bad, the other person, just was like, I don't want to continue here. And that might be a message for you specifically. Why that's coming through is that this person won't do that. This person is going to work on this relationship. They won't let it just end because it gets a little rough. They see it as forever. We see that with the lovers, like that soulmate, divine counterpart energy, that future spouse, that long-term love interest here. And we see Daisy with you standing out amongst like the millions of people that are around you, the billions of people on earth. You are the one that stands out because of this difference in energy. And we can also interpret the Death card as a difference in energy, a difference in the way that they approach people, a difference in the people they go after. Maybe they aren't the type that would go after your type, but now they're changing. It's not to say like, you're not their type. They might be going for somebody who's like really adventurous, and now they realize that that wasn't something that was, going to work out for them. Or they went with somebody who liked to do everything they like to do, and then they realized they never actually got any freedom or any time to breathe because it was somebody who was just like so much like them. It's those things where it's just like, it was what they thought they wanted, but wasn't going to be successful. So they've changed their ways. They've allowed a negative cycle to end. They've put, that issue in the past, and now they can focus here on this next stage, this newness. And we see all 4 signs represented of the fixed signs here. And we also had that in another stack with, what was it? With I think the second stack, I think, had it. Well, I'm not sure. One of them had, all 4 signs, that fixed energy. It might have been the first stack. But it's the same way where this person has a very good balance of all things that are going on, all things that are needed to be focused on. So it's like finances, it's love, it's communication, it's actually putting in energy into a relationship. And it's that perfect balance of all those things so that a relationship can be successful. But for some reason with this one in particular, this stack, it's not really giving me their personality type exactly. It's giving me who they are to you. And so for like just a little while, I want to just focus on that because it might be specifically for somebody out there. If you feel like maybe you've been disregarded, or you're not somebody who is easily noticed, and you're wondering if this person's coming in, when this person's coming in, or if somebody will even notice you, I would say don't keep that mentality, because whoever this person is, this person's much different than anything you could have dreamt of. This person's different than anyone you might have had in the past. This person sees a relationship as something that is given to them. It's a gift. It's something that they are lucky to have, especially when it comes to you, because you're not only their fortune, a gift to them within that wheel of fortune, you're coming out as the lovers, which is a soulmate, somebody that they've been waiting for. The King of Cups is the most loving, dedicated spouse next to the King of Pentacles. So here we have all that beautiful energy with, such great movement forward, just so much positivity that can be there. And even if, like you're not feeling like this is coming through for you, this definitely is. There's definitely strong energy here, because this is somebody who you've been waiting a while for and is finally arriving. So I feel like this is just a message for whoever needs to hear it, that this person's coming through for you very soon. And don't think that they're not. They're going to definitely notice you, because this is like what was meant to be, on a higher level, meant to be. But that's what I'm seeing here. They seem like a really great person, though, who really, they cherish you. They see you as like something that is a gift to them, and they seem very well balanced. Somebody who's very dedicated. I'm not saying much as like an outgoing person, so they might be a little bit of a more reserved energy here. But that's what I'm seeing here with these cards. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch these videos. I hope that you and all your loved ones are doing well, staying safe and healthy. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye.